Welcome to Proven's Garage. Well, Proven's new and improved garage. Now, I haven't posted a video in about a month, and the reason for that is I've been totally renovating my garage, had to do some work on my truck, and also I got engaged to my lady. So that's pretty awesome. But while I've been gone, I have vastly improved this place. I got rid of a bunch of useless workbenches that didn't get used, and I got all new shelving and a whole bunch of bins to store everything, so now I know where everything is and it's all organized, everything has a place. I also got all my metalworking stuff over here, so it's all in the same area. It's nice and uniform. There was a bench here, I got rid of that. And now my welding table slides right in there next to my welder. I got rid of that hideous tile that has been plaguing my videos since the beginning. I hated that tile. I also painted it when I painted Kart, so that had to go. It was a huge pain in the ass to get it out of here because it was all glued down. But I got it all out and now it's great. It's way easier to clean the floor because it's just bare concrete. Everything just sweeps right up. I also got some new tools. So I got this new Evolution chop saw, and these things are incredible. They cut metal so fast, so clean, and it does not heat it up. It doesn't shoot sparks everywhere. You'll see me working with that in this video. I also got a proper tubing bender, which has been coming for a while, and I'm finally have one. Can finally build some really cool stuff and have a lot less welding to do. And I got this little area over here for something else. So before we get started today, I want to ask you guys to drop a comment and let me know what you want me to build next. We got this Triumph Daytona 955i. It's a 150 horsepower engine, and it will make something go really, really fast. I got a couple ideas. I've mentioned it before, a single-seater, ultralight cross cart, but I want to also make it have adjustable suspension so I can make it set up for a road course and be able to rip down the street and have it adjust so I can take it off road and do some jumps and stuff with it. The other thing I've been thinking about for a while, if you saw the video when I got the Yamaha Virago, I want to build a reverse leaning trike. So the cool thing about doing something like that with a motorcycle is you can keep the same title and keep it registered as a motorcycle in Florida, so I could just build it and then go ride it. I have a title for this thing. Might be pretty cool. I could make a nice wide swing arm for the back and put a big fat tire on it. And for when I want to take it off road, I can put a big knobby tire on the back. And that might be pretty awesome. So let me know what you guys think. I got a lot of ideas, but I want to know what you guys want to see. So if I see enough of the same comments or similar comments, I'll build it. So just let me know. Anyway, let's get at it. So today we're going to work on Kart. We're going to get this thing so that this chain stops skipping. And then we're going to fix up whatever's going on with the front end. We had some squeaky crap coming out of this front corner. So it might be a bearing or something in the spindle. We'll figure that out. And then also my suspension started to relax quite a bit after the first ride. So we're going to get that beefed up. Get this thing back to its normal ride height. And then we're gonna go beat on it again, because that was a blast, and I can't wait to do it again. So today, I'm gonna try to make a chain roller to go in here so there is more wrap around this front sprocket, because I'm 95% sure that was the problem. If you don't have enough wrap around your sprocket with your chain, you can get skipping, and then that's gonna cause premature wear of your chain and your sprocket. So, one of the new tools I've acquired recently is this Evolution chop saw. And if you don't know what it is, it's basically a cold cut saw. So if you've used one of the abrasive chop saws, then you probably already know that they make a lot of flash, they make a lot of heat, they throw a lot of sparks. But these actually have teeth like a table saw or a circular saw for cutting wood, but they're designed to cut metal. We're gonna make a cut with this thing and see how it does. All right, I haven't taken the flash off except for what I just did with my fingers. I haven't done anything else to it. And that is about as perfectly square as I can see with the naked eye. So I'd say it does a good job. Really happy with this purchase. Going to be using it a lot, especially in upcoming builds, which are going to be coming soon. So let's get back to working. Alright, so here's what we got. We got our roller on the top that I made out of some acetyl polymer on the lathe. And I have a little recessed area so that this nut stays tucked in and I can still get under all of the chain and then have this lip that kind of guides the chain onto the roller rather than letting it slide off the roller. And then we have this little plate in here that connects our roller and also has a nut on the other side, and I double nutted that so that this doesn't have to get too tight to where this thing can't move up and down, but stays tight enough that it's not going to wobble. And then in here we have our spring-loaded area that's going to absorb some of that shock of the chain as it's under high load and it's really whipping up across the bottom of the sprocket. This thing will kind of absorb some of that. And then in here I also have a nut, and that nut is actually just to set the preload on this spring. So if it seems like this thing's moving a little too much under load, I can tighten that down or I can loosen it up. I can take it apart and take the nut off if I don't want to have any of that preload. But I figured I wanted to have that option in there. So I'm going to get this puppy installed and then I'm going to get to working on the front end. Alright, there we have it. So I think it's going to work. There's only one way to find out, but now we're getting a lot of wrap around that front sprocket. And before, I mean, this chain was just coming like straight down to the bottom end of the rear sprocket. So to the best of my knowledge, this should work. And the reason I did this as opposed to some other ideas I had is because this was the easiest thing to do. The other ideas are basically rebuilding the whole rear end. I really don't want to do that. When I build my next kart, it's going to be vastly different. I learned a lot doing this one, but that's how you got to learn sometimes, is just trial and error. So hopefully this fixes it. You know, at this point, that's pretty much what it's going to be, is just things that don't work, well, you just fix them. Try something. That doesn't work, try something else. So I also had to modify this cover a little bit to make this fit, and I knew when I was making this I was going to have to, but I'm not too worried about it. I mean, I just had to cut a corner off, and I think with the abuse I'm going to put this thing through, that's probably the least of my worries. So I'm going to get this thing buttoned up, and then we're getting to the front end. Alright, well, I moved the shocks up to the highest setting, and I have them fully tightened down, and it still sags quite a bit. I would like it to be there, but it wants to be there. So I think I have concluded that these cheap shocks are cheap shocks. So I can probably mess with it a little bit. I could make spacers again, but I mean, if you listen to them, they don't sound so great. So I wanted to take this thing for a rip again to check out the chain tensioner. But something else kind of came up and it took priority. So ripping on this thing will happen again soon, but I wasn't going to show it in this video. But I kind of acquired a game changer. So I'll just say it's a CNC plasma cutter. It's got a water table, 45 amp plasma cutter, and it's gonna make some awesome stuff. And I'm super excited about it. Came yesterday, I put it together, and now I gotta start playing with it. But we're gonna have to save that for next time. So we're gonna wrap this episode up. Next time we're gonna start playing with this thing, making some cool stuff. So make sure you stop by again. Thanks for stopping by today. See you next time on Broden's Garage.